Molly, I have a really cool thing to teach you about today. I'm very excited for this one. I think it's really, really cool.
Do you know what I'm so excited about?
What are you so excited about?
Guessing what this could be. It's my favorite part.
Ooh, that's your favorite part? That's offensive. I put a lot of work into finding these facts and finding these topics, and your favorite part is the part where you're not learning?
I'm
Shame.
learning how to take what you're giving me and form guesses, hypotheses.
Okay, well...
You're teaching me a skill.
Okay, you got out of it that time. I appreciate it. Okay, so today, the first fact for today's topic is the first recorded use of today's topic by a human was in 1490 by the gentleman Leonardo da Vinci.
Wow.
He was the first human to ever use this topic. He was the first human to ever record the use of this thing.
When you say record, are you talking like he
took
I can
good
record a
notes.
voice memo, or he took a note and wrote down?
Well,
hey,
let me ask you, Molly. Do you think in 1490 Leonardo da Vinci was
had an iPhone?
Was just popping in voice memos for himself?
Okay, I
Come
see.
on.
And because of that hint, now I know that you're talking about he wrote down that he used something the first time. Now, Da Vinci...
The first recorded use by a human was by Leonardo da Vinci in Leonardo da Vinci. The first recorded use by a human was
right.
Leonardo da Vinci in 1490.
1490. Well, I do know that Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, but that's not what...
That was 2 years later.
That was 2 years
This was
past.
old news by then. The second fun fact for guessing today's topic is it is something used by oilbirds, swiftlets, shrews, and over 1,000 additional mammals.
Wow.
Any idea?
Is it the feather pen?
A
quill?
It is not. That's not a... It's not. That's not a great guess. It's also not the top. No, it's...
But
yeah,
no
that's
guess
wrong.
is a bad guess, right?
Well...
Okay, moving right along. So it's not a quill.
It's not a pen. Nope. Our third fact, and probably the one that could give it away, is our topic for today is nature's built-in sonar technology.
Ooh, an owl. It's an echo. It's an echo.
Did you guess owl?
Well, yeah, because you could use a carrier owl to like deliver a message.
The first
Da Vinci
recorded
could have used
use
it.
by a human of an owl, it was in 1490 of Leonardo da Vinci? I don't think so.
Harry Potter.
Owls
was
are
after.
used by oilbirds, swiftlets, shrews, and over 1,000 other mammals? I don't think so, Molly.
Okay, Max.
Okay, so you did actually say one of the words recently when I said it's nature's built-in sonar, and then I went boop, boop, boop,
Echolocation.
Yeah! Our topic today is echolocation.
It's the scientific melody. It's the scientific melody. Dee-dee-dee, scientific melody with Molly and Max.
So yes, Molly, you guessed correct. Our
I
topic
guessed
today is...
Hold on, wait now.
Yeah.
I guess correctly.
Nice. Okay, so, I mean, obviously, you and I, we're people. We cannot see in the dark. In fact, most people cannot see in the dark. And so if you and I were walking through our living rooms, I'm hitting my foot straight into my couch.
Ouch.
No questions about it.
Stubbed many a toe.
But lots of mammals, most popularly, I would say, are bats. They can see in the dark, and the reason they can see in the dark is because they use something called echolocation.
Okay.
Oh, that's so good. So what echolocation does is it basically is a mammal will use a sound. The sound will be sent out from their transmitters, is what they're called.
Okay.
I learned this.
Okay.
It's called a transmitter.
Okay.
Most of them have a single transmitter and then two receivers. I didn't know that either, but I learned it.
Interesting.
So a mammal will send out a sound from their transmitter. The sound will then bounce off of objects that they can't see with their eyes, and then the mammal will know where it is because the sound will come back, and they will hear the sound again through their receivers, and it tells them where those objects are. So
No.
bats, when they're flying through a cave, they don't have to worry about stumping their toe on their couch because they
Stumping
went,
it.
they went, ee, 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 and then it bounced back and it hit them in the face. And they were like, my couch is over there.
You know, this reminds me of two things. One, it reminds me of a boomerang. You throw it and it comes back.
Yeah.
And you kind of can know when it's going to come back based on how far you threw it.
Can you do an
I know.
Australian accent?
Good eye, mate. I've been flinging me frisbee. That's not it at all. That's not it at all.
Can you do an Australian accent? Arrgh, I be flinging my frisbee.
Arg,
That's
matey.
not Australian, Molly. So, I know I mentioned bats. Bats are probably the animal that we all. It's very well known that bats use echolocation. I feel like that's probably the most well-known mammal. But there's so many other animals that use echolocation. Molly, I named oilbirds. I named swiftlets. Can you name any other animals that use echolocation to make sure they don't go face first into their family room furniture?
Dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah,
Dolphins.
dolphins use echolocation. Great job. Where do they do that though? In caves? In the
I think
air?
that-
Flying
well,
through trees?
I think you are confusing a dolphin with a bald eagle. Now, if I remember correctly, dolphins kind of do it against like the rocks and stuff underwater and stuff like that.
So yes, again, so they don't go face first into the rock. That would
Ouch.
be painful. But
Ow.
dolphins actually use it also to find other fish when they're hunting. So if they're real hungry, like I am this morning, and they need to find some fish to eat,
You're gonna
They go,
echolocate your bagels.
and they're like, John, he's over there. Go eat him. So you notice a big difference between dolphins and bats, though. Besides the obvious, like one's in a cave and one's in the ocean, you notice dolphins don't have ears.
Oh yeah.
So you're like, how do they hear the sound that when it comes back to them after it bounces off a rock or a fish? Because they don't got no ears.
I always thought dolphins did have little porous little areas. where they heard.
They do have those, but they don't have like bats have big old ears
Big old
that
ears,
come off
bat
their
ears.
head. Yeah, bat ears, literally. That's what those are called. So dolphins actually use their head. They use their like the front part of their head, their forehead, and that's where they actually receive the sound. So their receivers are in the dolphin's forehead, and that's how they know.
Interesting. That's so
Isn't that
interesting.
crazy? It's mostly animals that primarily live in incredibly dark places, so they can't rely on their eyes.
What about an owl? But an owl can see
An
at
owl
night.
can see actually remarkably well at night, so they don't use echolocation. But a dolphin does because it gets very, very dark under the ocean. Bats obviously do because it gets very, very dark in caves. So this is actually really cool. Scientists are actually right now, as of right now, this very moment, right now, as of right now, this very moment, right now, scientists...
Wait a minute. Now?
Right now. Scientists right now are studying to see if animals like shrews... Do you know what a shrew is?
I think it's a little furry mammal.
It is. Yeah, good job. So scientists right now are actually studying animals like shrews who use clicking sounds to navigate through their underground tunnels to see if they use those clicking sounds as a form of echolocation. It's the leading theory right now among scientists as to how shrews navigate in pitch black underground tunnels that they make. And so it's actually being studied right now, and if they prove that it would technically be a brand new discovered form of echolocation. How cool is that?
Amazing.
So echolocation is a natural thing. Animals can do it. But then humans were like, hey, what if we could figure out how to utilize this type of natural technology in the same ways? And so that's what led to Leonardo da Vinci doing this.
Da Vinci? I love that you can't say Leonardo da Vinci.
I know. So that is what led Leonardo da Vinci
Good.
into this experiment to see if he could figure out how to do it with normal objects. So he basically got a big tub and he filled it with water, and then he put a tube underneath and he tapped the tube to see if he could then hear it through the water. And he found out that he could. So that is the basis of what our sonar technology is today. So it's what ships use. It's what submarines use. And it basically is a way of people seeing without their eyes. How cool is that?
I think that is so cool and wild because, first of all, who would think to try that? But luckily, he did.
Yeah.
And think of it, now you just said, oh, and we use it in ships and all this stuff. Of course, at first I was going to be like, well, we don't use that. But sure enough, we do every single day.
Every single day, yeah. Well, I don't, because I haven't been on a boat in a very long time. But
you know what?
my mom, who is cruising all the time, as many cruises as she can go on.
Your mom does love a cruise.
She legitimately does love a cruise. It's her favorite form of vacation.
I get it, though. That's so fun. I've been on a cruise before as well. I got tonsillitis on the cruise, so I didn't experience it. But here's how good a cruise is. Ready? I had tonsillitis as a 4th grader. I couldn't go to any of the islands, but I still had so much fun on a cruise.
Nice. And you know why you had fun on that cruise?
Because my grandma babysat me and she was so fun.
Do you know why else you had fun on that cruise?
Sonar location.
And you know what sonar is based on?
Leonardo da Vinci.
And you know where he got the idea?
From the tub and the tube.
But do you know where he got the idea before that?
From the mammals in the sea and in the caves.
There you have it, Molly.
Echolocation. Echo. Echo. Echolocation. Echo. Echo. Echolocation helps animals navigate dark. They locate food and objects with nature's built-in sonar. First human discovery was by Leonardo da Vinci in 1490. That's Da Vinci, not Da Vinci.
I didn't mean to say it like that, Molly.
Bats use it in caves. Dolphins use it in the ocean. What a cool way to seek out commotion. Echolocation. 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 Echolocation helps animals navigate dark. They locate food and objects with nature's built-in sonar. Echolocation.
Edgeworks Nebula.